It is with regret that I announce the passing of Mrs. Estella Mims Pyfrom, a longtime champion for people in her community. Now, many may know her from her crusade, The Brilliant Bus. Neil, it is difficult to put into words what the loss of Mrs. Pyfrom or Miss Estella or Mama, but so many names that she has gone by in Palm Beach County. But it's so difficult to put into words um, what her loss is going to be for residents of South Florida. She just exemplified such a powerful, strong woman.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember that, like, to know that Mrs. Pyfrom is off to a better place, kind of took a piece of my heart out, honestly, because I remember the first time I met her was she brought her brilliant bus to my school, Village Academy, when
Yeah,
I
I
was in the
remember
third
that.
grade. Yeah, I was in Mrs. Danforth class. I remember going into the bus and like
Hmm.
seeing like this a bus full of computers, and I remember like how excited me and my classmates were to be in there. So, and even the affirmation that she had us like chant before we could like use the computers, I still vividly remember that. When I look in the mirror, what do I see? A
That's good.
brilliant mind looking back at me. Like that's how big of an impact that she's had on me. And even recently during our Camp Quest,
Yep.
when she came over to speak with the kids, you can see like how interested and how kind of how amazed she was that she kind of dedicated her like retirement and just to serving children, serving our community. So Miss Pyfrom, she's definitely an important and an important figure in our community, and she's definitely left a legacy in many people across this country.
Yep. Well, a lot of people may not know she was a CNN hero who has been featured in almost every major publication or network around the globe. But we have a tribute that one of our students, former students, Miss Alexandra Jones, did for Miss Pyfrom. Take a look.
In each city on our tour, Toyota is going to help us give a standing ovation. They've chosen a bold woman from Miami. Where is Estella Pyfrom? Stella Pyfrom, come on up here. Hello, Miss Pyfrom. Hi. You have some fans here. Let's see why Estella deserves a standing ovation. Take a look.
When I look in the mirror,
When I look in the mirror,
what do I see?
what do I see?
A brilliant mind
A brilliant mind
looking back at me.
looking back at me.
I'm Estella Pyfrom, and this is my brilliant bus.
At an age when most women are slowing down, 77-year-old Estella Pyfrom is just getting started.
Good morning, Mrs. Stella.
Good morning.
Estella won't rest until every child she meets has the opportunity, she says, to succeed.
Good morning, boys and girls. I started Estella's Brilliant Bus because I saw a need. Children that live in underserved neighborhoods don't have access to the internet because many of the families have to choose between food on the table and whether they want to attempt to provide internet services and a computer. Which word is the same as this one? Very good.
When students work with Mrs. Stella, we've seen better grades, we've seen them become more focused.
Very good. Good job. For this next generation, access to computers is a chance for success.
The daughter of migrant workers, Estella started picking beans when she was 6 in the segregated South. Estella's mother and father instilled in her this belief: hard work and a helping hand can change the direction of your life.
When I was a girl, we were all very poor, didn't have very much. But one of the things that we learned that money cannot buy is how to help each other. My father only had a 3rd grade education, and my mother only had a 4th grade education. But they believed that education was the key to being able to move up in life.
Estella took her parents' advice and ran with it. She graduated from college, then earned a master's degree and became a teacher.
I was born to be a teacher. I'm proud to say I was an educator for 50 years.
Estella married her high school sweetheart, Willie, who also became a teacher. They raised 4 children who all went on to college.
As a school teacher, you don't make very much money, and I worked 4 jobs. I worked after school, and I worked at night.
When it came time to retire, Estella's lifetime of hard work paid off.
We had property, we had our retirement money, and we had a little money on the side that we invested. So we didn't have to worry, but I wasn't ready to go on the back porch and rock. I knew I had more to offer. Then I got the bus idea.
Estella's brainstorm to bring technology directly to underserved children came with a hefty price tag.
My father said, if you have a task to do, if it's gonna happen, you gotta do it, and you gotta find a way to make it happen. So I had to find a way to make it happen.
Just listen to what Miss Estella did.
When my mother came and said she was gonna use her retirement money for a bus, I was not surprised because I knew that even if she gave her last, God would make a way for her to have tomorrow.
Estella and Willie gathered their entire life savings, $1 million, and made Estella's dream a reality.
It's all about investing in people. And when you invest in people, then the dividends and the return will be greater in the future.
The impact that Estella has had and her bus has had on the kids, to me, from what I can see, it is immeasurable. Estella is my hero. Yeah, sure is. Incredible.
Estella's bus also provides computers to the homeless to search for housing and jobs and brings food to families in the community.
Miss Estella has the ability to lift you up through a kind word or deed. Her energy just beams.
In just 3 years, Estella and her brilliant bus have helped over 60,000 children envision a brighter future for themselves.
Miss Estella has been the best role model I've ever had in my life.
Miss Estella has helped me dream big because she told me that I can aim higher than where I am now.
I didn't really think college was like an option for me, but Miss Estella gave me a chance, a glimpse of hope.
When you can see the smiles on their face and one that's look at you and say, I did it. It makes me feel like all of my sacrifices, all of my hard work, not in vain. Will I ever stop? Heck to the no.
For Toyota Standing Ovation stories, go to Oprah.com/Toyota Standing Ovation. Brought to you by Toyota.
We also have Ms. Jones with us tonight on Community Conversation. Okay, thank you for joining us, Ms. Jones.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you know, God works in mysterious ways because in 1912, in 2012, you lost your grandma, and not only did you lose your grandma, you were practically lost, to use your own words. And the same time, God did something miraculous in your life. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yes, around 2012, I moved into the same neighborhood with Mrs. Pyfrom and her family. And just one day I was walking down the street and I happened to see her along with her husband outside. And this was after they'd gotten in a really bad car accident. And I'm like, oh, look at this cute little couple. They're out there and they're both injured. So that was very weird. But, you know, I stopped and I spoke to them. And from that day forth, it was just like, you know, we've known each other for a long time. But within the time frame that I've known them, Mrs. Estella just had given me so much opportunities, and she afforded me different opportunities to go see things and go to different places and meet new people. So besides the fact that she put her retirement money into the Brilliant Bus and educating people in the community as far as technology is concerned, she definitely, how can I say it? She definitely exposed me to many things. I've traveled all across the country pretty much because of Mrs. Estella. I've been to numerous states, been in
You went to the
different,
Essence Music Festival, am I correct?
yes, I've been to the Essence Music Festival twice
You
because of
went to
Mrs. Estella.
Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Louisiana because of her.
Yes, um,
You also learned a code, am I correct?
that is absolutely correct. I've never had the interest in coding. I didn't know how to code. I didn't even know what it was, honestly. But I went to a Black Girls Code conference my first year going on a trip with Mrs. Stella. And she just told us, she said, you get in there and do what you got to do. And I did. And my team won first place. But it was very interesting, and it was shocking to me because I never knew how to code. But just the fact that she gave me that push and said, go do what it is that you know you can do, that was just amazing.
You know, one thing I know for sure is you you were sporting her brand, girl. You repped that brand like it was yours.
Yes, I have pictures everywhere with Estella's Brilliant Bus t-shirts on. I used to wear them to school and tell people about the Brilliant Bus. Even recently, when I worked at Suncoast Community High School, I tried to get her to come to my school for Black History Month, but it just wasn't enough time for me to do so. But I definitely spoke about her during Black History Month, and I would tell the students about her.
You know, she was instrumental in you deciding to wanting to become an educator. Am I correct?
Yes, you are absolutely correct. We definitely shared talks about me wanting to be a teacher, and it was just very inspirational that she's been a teacher for over like 50 years and that she still has an impact on her students from all those years ago, even now.
Wow, 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 wow. You know, you mentioned the trips to New Orleans, and I just shared so many memories of Estella, which just so hard for me to even get into that right now. But um, just the fact that she was able to expose so many kids to things that they probably would never have been exposed to in their lifetime is just remarkable. You know, her most lasting legacy, though, is the path that she cleared for others. She fed so many in the communities. The seniors, she did a lot of work with the seniors in Riviera Beach, Neil. I have been on projects with her before where she went in and she brought this technology in that helped the seniors to monitor their hearts and did medical check. One that I remember was some years ago when she took a group of kids down to the Microsoft office in Boca Raton, and our kids sang our national anthem to the kids in South Africa. And the kids in South Africa sang their anthem to us. And we had a dialogue between the two countries. In fact, until her passing a few days ago, it was her desire, it was her dream to materialize that relationship with the kids in Africa. And I'm going to make a promise right now. Her legacy will live on because I'm going to make sure that takes place. I spoke to her a few weeks ago, and in her frail voice, she was telling me about this project she's still working on in Africa. Every time I spoke with her, she was always telling me about the work that she's doing to make sure those African students or those students in Africa have the same level platform as our kids here in America. So sleep on, beloved, rest in peace. She, will always be remembered in our hearts, and to the family, accept our condolences, our love, and we'll always cherish the memories that Estella Mims Pyfrom left with us. Neil?
All of my sacrifices, all of my hard work, not in vain. Will I ever stop? Heck to the no.
Thank you so much, Miss Jones.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Hello, it is now 7 p.m. I am C. Ron Allen.
And I am Nosansky Noel, nicknamed Neil.
There you go. And a warm South Florida welcome to all of you to this, the 95th edition of Community Conversations.
As you can see, we're not your regular crew. Actually, we're pitch hitting this last day of 2021, and we're coming to you from the Boynton Beach Art and Cultural Center, the home of the second annual Fernando Joes Blues Kids International Camp of Palm Beach. Wow, that's a mouthful.
Yes, it was.
Mr. Ciron said that this was our 95th show? We're just five away from our 100th show. And we've been coming to you into your homes every Friday night for the past 22 months. Yes, 1 year and 11 months and 2 weeks. And we have not missed a single Friday. This is all possible thanks to the support of our sponsors, whom you'll hear more about later in the show. We have another memorable show planned for you tonight, and this will be our final show of 2021. So we've compiled some of our best shows for you this year.
Okay, here at Community Conversations, we take full advantage of remote technology to bring our young kings and queens together with members of the community, their leaders, and their peers, not just locally, but from across the world. As you will see tonight, this forum deepens connections and it provides discussions on a range of topics, including social, emotional issues, race and equality, improving relations with law enforcement, post-secondary education, careers in health and wellness, and politics. And we just love to highlight the talented youth in your communities and the great things they are doing.
And there's definitely a lot of that happening around here in Delray Beach and around the Palm Beach area. So definitely stay tuned. Let us say thank you to all of the adults, parents, grandparents, educators, and responsible community servants who every Friday night hang out with us to share ideas, instill values in us, the leaders of tomorrow. We hear from you in the streets. We get your texts and emails, and we value your feedback. You are indeed making a contribution to your community as our mentors, and for that, we say thank you.
Speaking of mentors, Neil, a special shout out go out to our team of mentors. You have Miss Suzette Franklin, Miss Priscilla M. Willingham, Miss P.M., Mr. Ted White, Mr. Rory Jenkins, and my partner in crime, Mr. John Stevenson, just for investing your time in our youth. We certainly appreciate everything you do for us. Speaking of mentors, we do need more mentors. So if you're interested in just sharing some gem with our young people, let us know. 2022 going to be a year to be reckoned with. I would be remiss though, Neil, if I did not say a heartfelt thank you to our sponsors for making it possible to expose our young kings and queens to such things as snorkeling, scuba diving, golf, aviation, horseback riding, and yes, the arts, as you'll hear more about today. This project is definitely a community effort. However, there are a few people I must thank you. So many, but the Riviera Beach CDC and Miss Anita Jenkins for believing that the sky is the limit for our youth.
We have the City of Delray Beach Community Improvement Department. We have the United Way of Palm Beach County. Oh, Mr. John Peters and State Farm. We have Mr. Tyler Knight and the Knight Group. Thank you very much for that. Delray Citizen for Police, Mr. Andre Fladell, Dr. Andre Fladell and his crew. We have the Women's Club of Delray Beach under the leadership of Her Highness Miss Joyce Patrick. Amazon Hub, Amazon Hub Delray Beach. Get it right now. Amazon Hub Delray Beach. We have the Home Depot Foundation. We have Habitat for Humanity of South Palm Beach County, and they keep bringing me more. We have DNA Total Fitness, Roots and Wings. Oh, how could I forget that? We have Ann McNeil Construction Company. We have First Transit and Comto. There are just several individuals, so many for us to include. But one I must point out, Miss Janet Meeks with the City of Delray Beach. Thank you so much for your support this year. And guess what? If I did not call your name and you want to be added to our list of supporters for 2022, there's an opportunity. Just give us a call at 561-665-0151, 561, excuse me, 561-665-0151. Neil, hopefully we can edit that out. Anyway.
It's like, wow, it seems like everybody from the county and state is just will do anything to help these children. And really, I can't believe them. They're our future. They're our future doctors, our future presidents, our future everything.
You're absolutely right, Neil. You're absolutely right. You know, we could not do this. Certainly, we could not do this on our own. And it takes a community, it takes a village to do the things that we've done this year. You know, go back when you think about some of the things that you've learned this year, some of the places you've done. Let's talk a little about that. Some of the things that you've experienced since you've been in this program.
Yeah, like I remember earlier this year, we went to a botanical garden. That definitely was a fun experience, and like being able to like make your own self-watering planter. That was actually a really cool activity we did with the kids one time earlier this year.
Mounts Botanical Garden in West Palm Beach.
Botanical Garden. That I really liked. Camp Quest was amazing during the 7 weeks. We went to the Port of Palm Beach, learned how like goods get transported to the Caribbean, to the state and such. We went to this huge sugar warehouse that was like really like you could pick up the sugar and like if you wanted to eat it, you could because it was like just like raw sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like let's see. The one time we had like
all the camps we've done.
It was like it's just too many.
As we mentioned earlier with Mrs. Pyfrom, we had a chance to take these kids all over the country. We took them to New Orleans, as Alex said, Tennessee, places that they never would have had a chance to go to. We've gone to presidential inaugurations, you name it. But this is all made possible, folks, through your support. Okay, this is all made possible through your donations, and for that, we're greatly appreciative. We want to continue this again in 2022. So again, if you want to be a part of this effort, feel free to get by the way, every little bit adds up. If it's only $3, this is our 31st year. We're going into, we're still in our 30th campaign, 30th, what is it, 30 by 3 campaign, Neil. 30 years, we're asking you to give us $3 a month. If you can pledge $3 a month and just ask 3 of your friends to support us with $3 a month, that $3 can go a long way, not only in making sure our young people are exposed, but they're prepared for life in this global society. Now, you may ask, how do we prepare them? We prepare them through tutoring, through exposure, through bringing in speakers. There's a lot more to learn. What else we have now?
Links will be in our bio links will be in the description to figure out how you can help support us and our mission more. A group of students spent their winter break attending the 2nd annual Blues Camp International Palm Beach in Boynton Beach. We have a report from CBS 12.
A group of students in South Florida is spending part of their holiday break at a winter camp learning about blues music.
CBS 12's Al Peffley reports not only are they learning about it, but they also want a chance to perform. He joins us live at the Boynton Beach Arts and Cultural Center with the story. Al?
School is out for the next several days until after the first of the year. We found some kids who came here to expand their knowledge, learn some new things about music, and just have a little fun.
Has got everything you need, has got.
In the week between Christmas and New Year's Day, these kids are taking part in a Blues Kids camp to learn more about a type of music, the blues, that they may not be too familiar with.
We've got a great lake.
15 kids are involved in this 4-day camp. It's being held at the Boynton Beach Arts and Cultural Center and gives students ages 9 to 17 a chance to listen to blues music, participate in it, and have fun at the same time.
The most important thing that I think I'll take away from this is just like learning to play with other people and, you know, get involved in the music.
The Blues Camp International began in 2010, and Fernando Jones, a college music professor at Columbia College in Chicago, leads the camp. Jones has also brought this camp to numerous cities across the U.S. and to various places around the globe, such as Tokyo, Havana, and Italy.
I think that the blues is enjoyed by many people in the United States of America. However, I think that what I'm doing will help shine a little more of a positive light on it, since it is the root of American music.
He enjoys working with young people.
I kind of focus in on the positive of what the blues has to offer and try to see that glimmer of hope and satisfaction in that.
Oh, the owl. My daughter, the owl. I like that.
Students say the blues camp is more fun than spending their holiday break watching TV.
And he will fly. And he will fly.
Now that they've had a taste of the blues, they want to hear more of it.
And honestly, I think it's really cool. I think honestly, it's really nice. I would probably add it to the list of my favorite types of music.
I like music, but I don't really know that much about blues music, so I wanted to go and try it out to learn more. It makes it fun because we're learning about the origin of it, the history behind it.
The blues camp was last held here in December 2019. They had to skip a year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The young people will also get a chance to perform some of the blues songs that they're learning at public events this week in Riviera Beach on Wednesday, Lake Worth Beach on Thursday, and here in Boynton Beach on Friday. In Boynton Beach, Al Peffley, CBS 12 News.
Yep. Okay. We have with us Mr. Fernando Jones of Blues Kids Camp. Thank you for being with us, Mr. Jones. How was camp this year?
Hey, how you doing? Would you like for me to relax my mask?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool.
We definitely want to hear everything about this camp.
Yeah, we are observing all of the protocol for health and safety here in Florida. So we just want those folks to know, but I'm just relaxing it for the presentation. Now, ask me your question again, sir.
How was camp this year for this winter break?
Camp this year for winter break, it couldn't have come at a better time. It could not have come at a more sunny time. Now, we've got a group of student musicians that are glad to be here. And my right-hand man, Mr. Felton Cruz, is glad to be here too. So we're having a good time. So it's coming along really nice. And we're already looking forward to next year, which is just in the blink of an eye. It'll be next year. And we're also looking forward to hopefully some of the kids from the KOP Mentoring Network and this program being able to come to our other international camp, which is in Chicago. That'll be the second week of July.
Oh, wow. A trip all the way down to Chicago?
Yeah, up, actually, all the way up to Chicago.
Up to Chicago.
Yeah.
Forgot where Chicago was.
Yeah. Maybe you'll come and hang out.
Definitely. Because from what I've been hearing, it sounds like y'all have been doing a lot to be helping these kids. And, I even have a little bit of a passion for music myself. So I'll definitely be taking a peek.
Okay,
So,
what area of music are you in? It helps you express your interest.
well, currently I'm learning how to learn the ukulele.
Okay.
Yeah, so the ukulele and also the piano I've always had an interest in since I was little. And I really like making alternative music and jazz things. So
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
in school I used to play the saxophone for my band class. So
Might you pick that back up at some point in time?
you know what? Why not? I mean,
Why
that-
not?
I mean,
So I'm
don't knock
gonna
it till
I'm gonna hold that to you, man. The next time I see you, I'm gonna ask you, and I might even next time I see you might even be online. So be ready. You don't have to wait for me to come back in person, or for you to come up to Chicago and play, because music is a universal language,
Yep.
and it really helps makes the world a smaller place, a nicer place, a more enriched place, more fun place. I guess I can keep going on with the adjectives, huh?
Yeah. I mean, can't believe that's what my music teacher would always stress to me, Miss Williams. She would always stressed how just amazing music is just for all humans to have like this one thing that we can all just kind of speak through.
Yes, sir.
With words. It's mind blowing how powerful music can be.
Yep.
Go on. How did you like performing in the new Arts and Culture Center?
Well, I didn't find out that it was new until maybe a couple days ago. So I think that it is always cool when you can be part of an inaugural situation. Mr. Allen was telling me that it was a new building, and I think he reiterated it this morning to me. So it was dynamite, and it would be nice when we come back that we could establish a relationship here and a home base, and to help promote the city, help promote the arts, and most importantly, promote kids being kids and having an opportunity to take advantage of these years of innocence, almost like a Disneyland or Disney World experience through the lens of the blues just happened to be here in Boynton Beach,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it would definitely help to be able to bring those programs closer to the kids. So you don't want the kids having to travel all the way to West Palm Beach, especially if they don't have a means of transportation. So having these
Right.
new buildings, definitely opening up and getting closer to these kids, so that way they could just reach in and just fulfill their passions. That just astonishing to see.
Yeah. What you know, obviously I'm not from here, but from what you know about this area, how do you think the students in this area, just say between 9 years old and 15 or 12 and 18, how do you think they will respond to this concept of blues pedagogy in the future, and couple that with this new facility?
Well,
What do you think?
looking at the people looking at the students, especially in my school and other schools, there definitely is that interest in the blues and music in general. So I definitely feel like there will be a lot of kids just flocking to that opportunity, especially if you were to go to schools themselves and kind of advertise it. Yeah, there'd definitely be a huge interest, since creativity is a big thing, especially in Delray Beach. There is the arts garage and such like that. So that interest is always there. So just having one more resource available is amazing for this community.
Interesting.
So you did this camp 2 years ago. Last year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, last year, COVID put a dent in many people's plans. How many
Right.
programs? Well, many programs went virtual as a result of COVID. Shutting
Yes, sir.
everything down. So how did you fare through the pandemic?
I'm glad that you asked that question. My dear friend and dear fraternity brother, Dr. Jamie Dewan, was about 2 years ahead of himself with me. His background is instructional design, and that encompasses online teaching, for lack of a better sophisticated term. And so 2 years before the pandemic, let me see what it's like, 2021 right now. So 2020, 20 years, so 20 December, right? So I was here December through the first part of January of 2020, and then the pandemic hit. So maybe 2017, he presented it to me, an opportunity for Blues Camp to have an online component, almost like as if it was a legitimate academic enrichment piece to go with the music enrichment piece, a blues immersion piece. And I was kind of maybe fighting it because I didn't think that the kids would be interested in it, seeing that in the summer they would just want to play and, maybe take some photographs and just write a report on whatever, or write a philosophy of the blues. But he was absolutely right. So we implemented that through Blackboard in 2017. Then we did it in 2018, a little bit in 2019. Then when the pandemic hit, I was like, because everything in Chicago, I guess, shut down maybe about that second week of March. And so generally with Blues Camp, we start planning from October the year before. Well, actually, when camp is over in June, we start planning. July, we start planning.
Yep.
And I knew that there were a group of students that depended on Blues Camp just for their social, emotional learning situation. And I also knew from a marketing standpoint that if we took a break, we would lose our market share. But I also knew from a health and wellness perspective, it couldn't be done in person. So going back to Dr. Dewan and then moving forward to the camp, we were able to pivot and make Blues Camp accessible through the online process. And so then I brought a production team, a filmmaking production team into my home. And I ran Blues Camp from my house. And we had kids from all over the world. And there's a reference news video from WGN, one of the super stations. If you go to blueskids.com and just look at the videos, you can see they did a real nice 4 or 5 minute piece on us and how we pivoted during the pandemic, which was really cool.
Yeah, but that's actually really cool to know how, like, it wasn't really just, like, you were kind of already set up to
Didn't even realize it, man, until it happened. And now that I think that's a good thing about when opportunity meets preparation, man.
Yeah.
And the opportunity met us being prepared through Dr. Dewan, and we didn't miss a beat. So then we had March and April to plan it out, just say 2 to 4 weeks to plan it out. And then got the film company. And then I think about the production team. So let me see, Blues Camp was that first week of July. So we probably started having production meetings at the top of May. And maybe by mid-May, we had everything straight.
So it goes to show you.
It was a social distancing time, just putting it in a historical perspective now, since we are able to, in some parts of the world, to relax our masks. But when the guys were shooting in my home, they had their masks on and all that kind of stuff. And I had my mask on it. And it was really hip, man. So we got a chance to really see how impactful this camp is and how it's not just limited to an in-person situation.
That's cool, right?
If I had my brothers, obviously it would be in person all the time, but we just changed or enhanced the format to be applicable to the online process. And it was hip, man. We had kids from Europe, we had kids throughout the United States, and it was cool because we reached kids from different geographic or topographical areas that we wouldn't have reached in person, even though people do come from different parts of the world in person.
The internet is everywhere, so.
Man, it's something. It made an old guy like me say, wow, I admire you young folk that have the world right in the palm of your hand and your cell phone. So.
Like, I guess as a result of the pandemic, people really do have a new appreciation for the internet, because just being able to reach out, being able to talk to somebody all the way like on the other side of the world instantly, that's something that we can only say in recent time. That's a very recent thing that humans have been able to do.
Exactly.
But tell us about your plans for the summer in Chicago, please.
Well, the plans for Chicago in the summer, we will have Blues Camp International on the campus of Columbia College Chicago, where I'm on faculty in the music department. And that will be the second full week of July. The Blues Camp is free, just as it is here. And we want to be in a position to welcome 90 to 130 student musicians. And it would be cool, man, if we could have 5 to 15 of those kids come from here. I think that would be really cool. So if there's like some friends of KOP that can reach out to Mr. Allen and, you know, maybe provide some sort of sponsorship situations for kids to be able to travel with their parents by plane and their hotel, their lodging for a week, you know, I think that would be dynamite, because you're giving kids through this program the courage to fly. It just happens to be through the lens of the blues, but this model could work well if we were doing a baseball camp or a board game camp. So
just like one, I definitely want to be one of the ones to fly out to Chicago and participate. And
Yeah.
I just want to see myself what you'll be doing with the kids over there in Chicago. Besides, I want to go.
Well, you got
way
7 months, man, to plan. You don't have to wonder. You can plan on it. And if you do come, I'll let you if you want, you could do your broadcasting piece. You can broadcast every day and you can chop it up however it is that you want. We have extracurricular activities during the week where the kids go. We're in class on campus, roughly 8 o'clock to 11:30. And every day after that, we take the kids to do an activity, whether they're playing at some kid spot or they're performing all the way through the end of the week. And maybe you can take your show on the road. So I'm going to bring back Mr. C. Ron Allen here.
Well, thank you, Professor.
You're welcome, sir.
Look, this is a team approach. I know you have someone else with you trying to instill some values and gem in these kids. Who's the other man you had on bass all week?
I had Mr. Felton Cruz.
Mr. Felton Cruz. Well, let's hear more from the man himself, Mr. Felton Cruz.
Yay!
So, Mr. Cruz, talk to me a little about your. Hey, man, this is the second time in Palm Beach County with us. You were here last year, and talk to me about how things going, man.
Everything's beautiful. You know, what a welcome break from the Midwest in the winter and the pandemic. You know, here again. You know, we were here in 2019. Seeing some of the old faces, some of the new faces, and brand new enthusiasm. That's what's, that's the killing part of it,
Speaking of pandemic, you're a musician. How did this impact musicians, during that period?
Well, it affects everybody in different. It affected everyone the same, but everyone took it in different ways, and so.
You pivoted?
Yeah. It gave me a chance to reflect, because they tell you about you shouldn't work so hard that you don't live. And so it really gave me a chance to break, to get back and collect myself and figure out, hey, I don't have to work today, but it doesn't mean because you're not working, go lay down. But it meant, let yourself open up your mind again. And so it gave me a lot of outlook on my future as far as music and how I would go approach it, because when something so sacred to you is taken away,
right,
and you're able to do it, you weren't physically unable to play music. It was your audience was taken away, the venues were taken away. So it was really a shock and an adjustment. So it kind of brought you back to yourself. And who are we? And what are we doing? And how are we going to do it? And how valuable? And it gave you a new appreciation for it.
Last night we had a chance to play at the Bamboo Lounge in Lake Worth, and the day before we played in Riviera Beach at the Marina. And there are a lot of people who saw this cool dude on the bass. I was like, who is that dude? Where did he come from? Why don't you tell me a little about Felton Cruz?
Well, Fernando Cruz is a guy. He's a good friend of mine. Just an average musician, humble guy. Came up through the ranks. just like the kids we're dealing with now.
Right.
You know, we the one difference with them is when we were coming up playing, we didn't necessarily have people like you and the musicians who could give us the pointers, the training. So we did all our learning privately in the basements on our own. You know, it took hours and hours putting that needle back on that record, starting over again and trying to figure it out. What is he doing? What is he doing? Then eventually it was cassettes, rewinding. So we had to do it the hard way. Now it's a little easier now with YouTube for the musicians and learning up and coming musicians, because you have a real guy or person there to give you the pointers, and they're teaching you the shortcuts. So it's good and bad, because sometimes the process is the real value of the lesson. But either way, however it goes, they're being taught the fundamentals, some of them,
right,
and the trickery, the shortcuts. But we didn't have all that, and so I don't mind it,
right?
Because however you get it, you get it.
So you, Neil, I see you had a question. Well, tell you what, you mentioned the kids. We have some of the kids here with you. Let me talk to a few of the kids. Thank you again for your time, brother.
Well, thank you for having me. And young man, I'll come back to you because I know you're going to remember that question as soon as I walk away.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. C.
Yeah, that's right. We can edit that, Neil. Come on. We have with us one of the stars this week, Miss Jana Pierre herself. Jana, how are you?
I'm good.
Good. Well, tell us a little about yourself. Where do you go to school?
I go to Don Esther High Tech Middle School.
So you're a middle school student. What grade?
I'm 7th.
Okay, and you've been in blues camp this year. This is your first year?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts so far?
It's a really cool experience.
What's so cool about it?
Meeting new people, learning the history of the blues, things like that.
Okay.
Getting to perform in different parts of Florida.
And talk to me about why is it so important to have camps such as this?
It's important to have camps such as this because it introduces children like me to new types of music that they've never seen, or new things and new people.
Okay. All right. And today was your last day. What are you going to take back to school when you go from here, from this experience?
I'm going to take back some of my public speaking skills that I was probably improved over this because I was performing throughout Florida.
So you somewhat had a chance to overcome the fear of public speaking, huh?
Yeah.
Speaking of public speaking, I heard that you were a winner in our, Neil, she was one of the winners in our recent contest, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember down in the art garage. Yeah, your essay was phenomenal, honestly. And your essay, your speaking, loved it, and just had to give you that praise. Like, you were a really good competitor.
Thank you so much.
And thank you very much for being with us today.
No problem.
All right, you have a good one.
You too.
We have also with us the drummer himself. He's a returning member of the cast, and this is your second year with us, Mr. JT himself. Mr. Thomas, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. This is your second year in blues camp, right?
Yes, sir.
And last year you were kind of nervous. You still nervous this year, or you're
just a little bit.
Why are you so nervous?
Nervous.
You performed before.
Yeah, I'm good, and I perform plenty of music and stuff, but I'm always nervous for some reason. It's like the crowd. I'm not too much of a crowd type of guy, but I'm here, so.
Yeah. What have you learned, or have you learned anything since you're working with international travel musicians, man?
Yeah, it's a good experience for me, to be honest with you, and I get learning experience 24/7. I enjoy playing music and stuff with other people or with myself or anything, period, but it's better when I'm playing with other people too at the same time. So either way it goes, I'm comfortable when it comes to music. It's just a busy type of thing for me, so.
Okay. That's all right. Anything else you want to share with the young people out there listening?
I appreciate everybody who's listening to me. I appreciate all of them for giving me this opportunity. If you want to do music, I encourage you to actually do the music and try to might pass, embrace your fear or stage fright or whatever. But whatever you do, just keep doing what you do, love it, and keep it going until you get to the top and make it happen. Stay blessed.
All right. Well, thank you, Neil. We have a final one. A young lady here who's she's one of the stars on the show. I'm going to let you interview her.
Oh, have I seen you somewhere?
Yes, at CCE editing.
Yep. Can you introduce yourself to us?
Hello, I'm Brianna Ulysses. I'm 15 years old. I attend William T. Dwyer High School, and I am in 10th grade.
How was your experience here at the blues camp?
It was really nice. I learned a lot of different things. I learned the meaning of blues, what blues can do to you, the feeling of the blues, different instruments that I never played before that I wanted to play, and stuff like that.
So why is it so important to learn stuff like the blues, be at camps like this Blues Kids Camp? Why is this important?
It's important because mainly some things that we do like outside, like just chill on our phones, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, stuff like that. It's kind of like we're forgetting the more important things, like going out with family, chilling with friends and stuff like that, and trying different things. And for me, I used to do other things other than this. I never thought about the blues. I never thought about anything else until I started actually like contributing in my, environment and everything like that. I found about the blues. I've been more into it. So I play instrument myself, and I still haven't known anything about the blues. So I think it's important to try new things and, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's definitely important to kind of get out of our little social media stranglehold and be able to just live life truly and just try, like you said, try new things. Because, not too many kids can say that, oh, I learned how to play the blues. I learned how to play a new instrument over my winter break.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you wanted to add about the Blues Kids Camp?
I think all the kids should join the blues camp because you never know what you can learn, different things you can try to do with yourself, spend your time wisely and stuff like that. That's all.
That's a good point, but let me tell you this. If they don't know about it, what are you going to do to make sure they know about it next year? You're going to be an active recruiter, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Well, thank you again, young lady, and I will see you soon.
Bye.
We have a parent with us, Neil. We have a parent whose daughter not only is he's not only a parent in Blues Camp, but his daughter happens to be the vice president of our aviation program. So, Mr. Collector, why don't you join me here? Welcome to Community Conversations, the voice of the community as it relates to young people in South Florida. Talk to me a little about your experience this week. You've been hanging with us all week with your baby.
It's been exciting, enjoyable, very knowledgeable, learning new skills, being taught by two professionals, blues players out of Chicago. I think it's a wonderful, beautiful thing for the kids here in our communities. And I'm just enjoying every bit of it and trying to be very supportive of whatever Mr. C. Ron needs here and work with the guys and the kids.
Your baby also happens to be in our aviation program. Talk to me about, the importance of having programs such as this for our young people.
I think it's also great. And it opens up a lot of doors of opportunities. They get to see different avenues and directions of that they can go and do. She's been very excited about being a part of the Soaring Eagles, the aviation groups, and all the different doors of opportunities that can open up for them, and to get to write essays and do speeches and go to different events. The last event that we went with Soaring Eagle was the flight safety, and that was one of the greatest experiences, even also for myself.
Speaking of which, I'm wearing my flight safety ad. Thanks to Flight Safety for all your support over the years.
Yep.
A big shout out to Mr. Jim and Miss Mary Beth. But on that note, Mr. Cleckley, thank you again for your support, sir, and great having you with us on Community Conversations.
Thank you, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of it.
Yes.
And we're here for you.
Thank you much.
again.
Well, Neil, we have with us today His Excellence, the man on which the city revolves. Not only is he a man of the cloth, but he's a man who steered the city for during a pretty rocky period. He is our current vice mayor, and he served as mayor for a time. Mr. Mayor Woody May. Woody, hey, you'll always be my mayor. Thank you for joining us, sir.
How you doing? How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good to be here.
Great being in your facility here. We had a chance to spend the last 3 days in your cultural arts and cultural center. Why don't you tell us a little about this center?
This has been a dream of ours for many decades. To be quite honest with you, there were many times that we were going to decide to tear down the old high school, but we decided to keep it, and now it's been renovated, and the rest is history. Well, I'm very proud of this particular complex. Let me also apologize for my voice. I've been up in Georgia where it's been from 60 degrees down to 27, so and sleeping with the window right over my head. I don't have the virus.
And
okay?
you're sick, and you came out here for this?
I came out here for this because as you and I have been working together for a long time, C-Ron, and I do whatever it takes for the kids.
Thank you, sir.
I may not stay here the whole while, but I had to come.
Appreciate it. Thank you much.
I did. I'm not looking for a medal, but I just wanted to come out and show my face.
We appreciate that.
But this complex is all for the community. We have not grasped that yet, but the amphitheater over there is for the citizens of Boynton Beach. We also have another one over at Sarah Sims Park. We're doing some renovations on that to bring it up to speed. It used to be here at the city, and when this complex was being built, we moved it over to Sarah Sims, but it was not installed like we wanted it, so we're making some modification. But I'm just happy to be here and support for these kids and for C-Ron, who I've been knowing him for a couple of mango seasons, and he's doing a fantastic job. I'm looking for him to spend more time here in our great city of Boynton. Let him know that we have some shakers and makers and shakers that will work with him to promote his programs. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm going to be here for you. I want to get the information so that at our next commission meeting this coming Tuesday,
right,
I will be able to tell everybody and read it into the records.
Well, you will be able to do that because we have one of your own right here, Miss Gail. Gail happens to be, Gail McGrady is the one who will be running your operations here in town. So
Okay.
that'll be your point of contact.
Great. That sounds good.
Well,
so I'm just excited to be here today. I'm looking forward to this and future activities that this group. I just been talking to some of them, and they're dynamite. They're ready to go.
Well, thank you, Mr. McNeil. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for speaking with us today. And ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from Mr. Fernando Jones, some of the campers, parents, and even the vice mayor of Boynton Beach. So
we have one more person, Mr. Neil. We have one more person. We have Miss Gail McGrady, and she's the person behind a lot of this planning here in Boynton Beach. Miss McGrady, welcome to Community Conversations. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine, and you?
Good, pretty good.
Hello, everyone.
You are a native of Boynton Beach here. This is your hometown. It's been your vision to bring some of these cultural art activities and programs here to your city. You shared with me that you grew up on some of these things.
Yes, I did with Carolyn Sims.
All right.
Yeah. She had softball programs. We were doing talent shows. For a long time, she had a picture of me in her office. You know, we had a talent show doing a dance routine. So yes, I've had a lot of experiences with her, and we hope to do some of that here as well, talent shows.
So you hope to continue some of these things here?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to that, and you can always count on us. You have our support.
We're excited. Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you so much.
No, you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. That was Fernando Jones of Blues Kids Camp, the Vice Mayor of Boynton Beach, Mr. Woody Hayes, as well as a parent and some of the campers. Thank you to our latest partners, Trinity Counseling Center of Florida. TCC is a mental health clinic located in Green Acres, and they provide the highest quality person-directed services to help people flourish in our society. To learn more about Trinity Counseling Center of Florida, call 561-660-0237. That is 561-660-0237.
Outstanding.
Information. If it exists in writing, we print it. If it exists online, we update it. If it exists on mobile, we notify. If it exists in video, we show it. If it exists in audio, we play it. In the past, the news had to wait for a paper to print for it to happen. Today, news happens in real time. It's analyzed, edited, and published immediately by us, your neighbors, and of course, you. Wherever you are, you write, edit, give opinions, share photos, and make the news happen. This is why a paper needs to be on print, on screen, and on your phone. Wherever you are, your news has its pulse in the community. The Boca Raton Tribune. We are much more than just a newspaper. We are your closest neighbor.